These things happen. We dive into one of the most chilling puzzles in American criminal history. A phantom who taunted police, terrified a nation, and vanished into the shadows. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer. In the peaceful suburbs and quiet lovers' lanes of Northern California, the late 1960s were supposed to be a time of freedom, music, and youth. But beneath the optimism, something darker stirred. The first known victims, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, two teenagers out for a simple date night. December 20th, 1968. A lonely road near Vallejo. A sudden attack. Gunfire. Panic. Silence. Police had no motive. No suspects. Just a sense that this was not random. 7 months later, Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau were ambushed in a parking lot. This time a phone call followed. A calm male voice admitting to both attacks. A killer wanted to be heard. This was only the beginning. August 1969. Newspapers across the region receive an envelope. Inside, hand-scrawled letters, disturbing confessions, and a cryptogram, promises of further violence unless published on the front pages. The writer signed off with an unsettling emblem. A circle. A cross. A signature that would burn into American consciousness. He called himself the Zodiac. From that moment on, every letter, every cipher, every threat became a twisted performance for an audience of millions. The Zodiac wasn't just killing. He was directing a show. The attacks weren't predictable. He shot couples at night. He stabbed victims in broad daylight with a hooded costume. He sometimes targeted survivors who could speak. Brian Hartnell survived the Lake Berryessa attack and described the killer's chilling appearance. A black executioner-style hood, the symbol on his chest. A voice calm, almost polite. The randomness confused investigators. He shifted weapons, shifted locations, shifted style. Yet every crime carried his mark. The most famous suspect, Arthur Lee Allen. A troubled man with violent tendencies, a history of disturbing comments, and a connection to multiple crime scenes. He wore a Zodiac-like watch, owned similar weapons, matched a few descriptions, but evidence never fully locked him in. Fingerprint mismatches, DNA inconsistencies, handwriting differences. Allen became a symbol of the entire investigation, so close, yet just out of reach. Other suspects surfaced over the decades. Recluses, criminals, cryptography enthusiasts, even people framed by friends or family. But none produced the proof investigators needed. What drove the Zodiac? The letters seemed to reveal a hunger not for victims, but for attention. He threatened school buses, boasted about body counts, and mocked detectives by name. His ciphers mixed astrology, symbols, and warped fantasies. Some experts believe the Zodiac was a narcissist desperate for fame. Others think he was driven by delusion, or revenge. Or perhaps it was all a game. And as long as people read his letters, he was winning. Local police departments handled attacks in different jurisdictions. In the pre-digital era, sharing information was slow and disorganized. Detectives were overwhelmed by false leads, hoaxes, and amateur sleuths. Thousands of pages of evidence mounted. Hundreds of interviews. Endless suspect lists. The Zodiac, sensing the chaos, poured fuel on the fire, sending more letters, more clues, more ciphers, some still unsolved today. The investigation grew colder. But the myth grew stronger. In 2020, a team of codebreakers cracked the infamous 340 cipher, revealing a chilling message buried for half a century. The Zodiac boasted about his crimes, mocked investigators again, and proclaimed he wasn't afraid of the gas chamber, because it would send me to paradise. A message frozen in time, finally unearthed. But it revealed no name, no identity. The killer remained a ghost. By the 1970s, the letters slowed. The attack stopped. The world moved on. But the Zodiac never answered for his crimes. No arrest. No trial. No confession. Just theories, each as compelling as the last. Did he die quietly? Did he simply stop? Or did he continue in silence, blending back into society? Decades later, investigators still chased DNA traces, preserved evidence, and aging suspects. Each new discovery sparks hope, and then frustration. The Zodiac Killer is more than a case. He is a symbol of unfinished justice. A reminder of how one person, armed with cruelty and a need for attention, bent an entire nation to fear. And until his true identity is confirmed, one question lingers like a cold breath on the back of your neck. Is the Zodiac still out there, or has he been among us all along?